Right here, about to feed my 3-month-old German Shepherd. His name is Max. We're about to feed him what they call a barf diet, which means biologically appropriate raw foods for dogs. Most people would probably look at this and be like, whoa, that's not supposed to give that to dogs. But you know what? It is in their natural habitat to actually eat raw foods like steak, ground beef, chicken is probably one of the cheapest routes to go for when feeding a dog raw diet. Right here, I have a meal, one of his 2 meals. We're looking at a chicken quarter. I beat it to the pulp. Basically, I beat the crap out of it and cut it up into 2 pieces because it's about a pound quarter leg, so that's a little bit too much for him to have. He's supposed to have a total of about 0.9 of a pound, about altogether about maybe about 12 to 13 ounces all together with all the food combined. That right there is a quarter leg, so that's about half. I would say about half a pound, maybe a little bit less or a little bit more, give or take. Those are 2 chicken feet right there. That green is a little bit of spinach, which will give them a little bit of fiber. Right here we got some chicken gizzards. I put 3 chicken gizzards here, and that'll be his other meat that he's supposed to be getting, such as like chicken hearts and chicken livers and stuff like that, and that would be actual protein. The reason I actually choose to go with a chicken quarter leg is because it has more bone. You gotta give enough proportionate. You gotta be very proportionate when it comes down to giving them meat to bone ratio. You gotta make sure that you give them enough bone. Bone is important for a dog's diet because the fact is that they need it for calcium. Calcium helps their bones grow. If you don't give them enough calcium, they will leach it out of their own body, and it's a growing puppy, so it would basically mess up his stunt growth, and basically you'll have a short German Shepherd the size of a Chihuahua. You don't want that. Probably won't happen that way, but he'll have really delicate bones and stuff like that. The reason I give my dog this type of diet, it helps him be more energetic, thrive and push more when it comes down to training. This right here is 1 meal. We're looking at about 12 to 13 ounces worth of food right here, and that's actually what he would get 1 meal. He's supposed to be getting about 30 to 32 ounces a day. So right here would be his first meal. Let's go ahead and work on this and give this to little Maximus over here. Let's watch him devour this. Look how he loves this food. Look at that. He's trying to eat it from the freaking wall, from the freaking air. So, yeah. So as you can tell, he loves his food. Kibble, I could feed this dog kibble and he will, it'll sit in the bowl until he's actually hungry to the point of starvation. This raw meat diet that I usually give him, actually that I give him since I've had him, he literally, once the bowl's on the ground, it'll be like 5 minutes before he devours the whole thing. You got to make sure that you don't overfeed your dog, because if you overfeed your dog, it can cause problems like diarrhea. well, that'd probably be the main problem. So you can tell he's a little anxious to eat his food. He's trying to swallow it whole and not realizing that it's a big chunk. He's still a growing puppy, so I kind of take the mother's place, and I break down his food. A mother would actually take that food, bite it, eat it, regurgitate it, and give it back to the puppy so they can eat it. I'm taking the mother's place in that, in that situation, pretty much taking a hammer, a chicken quarter leg, and beating it. Destroying the bone inside so it's easy for him to chew, so he can actually get all that full calcium out of it. The chicken feet you see right there is actually very, very great when it comes down to calcium. It has a lot of bone in it, and it's just a big, just blob of just calcium. He pretty much just devoured the whole meal, as you can tell. It wasn't even in 2 minutes, and it's gone. You feed a dog kibble, I'm telling you, he'll come, nibble on it, come back, and finish it when he's really hungry. This is the best diet you can ever give a dog. Most people will look down on it. A lot of veterinarians will look down on it because the fact is that they don't recommend it. The reason they don't recommend it is because if you don't do your research and educate yourself real well when it comes down to a barf diet, you can really mess up a dog's body. His nutrition. You got to make sure the reason is the veterinarians don't recommend this is because most people will just give a dog just beef bone, without bone, and think that you're hurting the dog by giving them bone. You're not. A bone is part of a dog's nutrition. A balanced diet requires bone. With that said, soon enough you'll see this puppy, 2-3 months down the line, almost look fully grown. Well, he'll be fully grown. I've had him for about almost a month, and he's grown so big, man. So I'm looking forward to him growing and becoming such a great dog. Eventually, he's gonna be guarding this house and taking care of my kids, and my kids love him to death. They play with him, so looking forward to a future with this little man. And he's a little camera shy. He don't even like to eat in front of the camera. Right, Max? Right, Max? Look at you.